Good morning, everyone. We are up, we are running, we paused to make sure that we are on point with our recording. So that's a good thing, a great start. We are on earlier, but why not? Good morning, everyone. This is Carol, so AKA Naughty Boss, live from I always go this way, wherever she is. TwoSistas, there she is.
Wherever she is. She's over there or over there. Not sure where. Hey, my name is Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0. Excuse me. Fantabulous Friday. Yes, we are early. We're just so excited again about the value that we are adding, and obviously very passionate about this because this is a passion project, but more importantly, it's a collaborative business with two sisters who are making their mark in different ways. I would have never thought when we started this over 300 episodes ago, it was merely just a thought, but a thought to share our voice, a thought to share our passions, but more importantly, to share other people's voices. And of course, to the little voices who have no choice and are represented by those in their lives. So I don't know, I felt that kind of coming on today, I think probably with everything going on in the world. But we want to talk about fantabulous things today and maybe touch upon some of those other things that maybe are a little uncomfortable, or maybe we saw something pop up in the news. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Casu, because you're kind of the segue sister.
I'm the segue sister. She's the tech sister. I'm the segue sister. I kind of like that. We all have our roles, and how cool that is that, every day that we have a specific, and we kind of reiterate that to many people, because you never know who's jumping on that's new on our podcast. Who's jumping on live on our Facebook post. We are now on Twitter. We're super excited about that. Just Google _sisters or TwoSistas and it should pop up. We're also working on getting on TikTok, which that's going to be really fun, especially when we're doing you can do some kind of little funny videos and collaborate, with all kinds of everything to do with health, wellness, fitness, mindset, that all kind of interject to who we are, to our bodies, which happen to be fine machines. Let's not forget the value that we have so many systems within our body that we celebrate, good health, good wellness, and really taking advantage of the power that our own bodies can do to repair itself. So today, we're on a little bit earlier. Nothing like a great restful night's sleep, which is probably one of the greatest things that we should celebrate. A lot of people, I can get by with 2 hours. I can get by with 4 hours. I can get by with 6 hours. Your body cannot get by with that. Your mind might think it can get by with it, but eventually it does catch up. Eventually it does play havoc because you're breaking that natural rhythm of what the body needs. Besides that obvious thing, that sleep pattern, right? This is the time that our bodies actually naturally, the system takes over and naturally repairs itself. Now, how cool is that our own bodies repair itself without any medication? And what I mean, I'm referring specifically to sleep, not if you have a medical illness that you need medication, or maybe that you're ill and you need medication. That's not what I'm referring to. I'm just referring about the natural healing and the power. And really, when we talk about the brain, that we don't even use really our entire brain. That's a whole other subject in it of itself. But the power that our body, because it's really a fine machine, and I think a lot of people forget that, take it for granted, or may not know, or really just don't think about it. So when your body goes into that restful, peaceful state, that's when cells, your systems, they just naturally kind of go into what they, kind of in a resting state where, you're not feeling necessarily the necessary stresses of the day. You've got time to go on a more relaxed REM sleep. A lot of people call my last name REM, so I kind of relate to that, but a nice REM sleep. And that's when the body naturally repairs itself. So where the sleep portion of the importance comes in is to be restful. So if you are in your sanctuary, your bedroom should always be your sanctuary. But if you're watching the news, or you're watching things that, maybe a scary movie, maybe it's a murder mystery, maybe it is, different news channels, you're flicking from one to another, that's not necessarily going to put your mind into that nice restful state to go into that restful state where your body can repair itself. I always suggest, especially if you're one of those that your head hits the pillow, but you don't like actually going to sleep. Some people can sleep anywhere, can sleep on a dime, can sleep sitting up. Like they get on the airplane, in 5 minutes, they're already, snoring away, right? Some other people do the whole toss and turn, or they replay what it went on during their daily activities from that day. Maybe it's projects, maybe it's a work assignment, and your brain starts to kind of like go fast forward in a different direction. So a great suggestion would be to have some earbuds in. Instead of watching the scary movie, the intense movie, or the news, put the earbuds in. Even if your eyes are still awake, just let your body naturally literally physically feel your body, really from your toes all the way up, and just get into that relaxing mode. Listen to some good relaxing music. There's a plethora of music out there. So you are not lost to find something to listen to that is going to put you in that really nice, cool, relaxing state. And Lord and behold, you wake up, you feel refreshed, you feel good. And usually when you wake up, everyone automatically thinks it's the mindset, which that is a piece to it. But it's also your body telling you, thank you. You took the time to understand the value of what I needed, my physical being needed to get into that peaceful, restful space. In other words, now I can wake up refreshed and take on the day. And that's pretty cool for a fantabulous Friday.
It sure is for a fantabulous Friday. Sleep, I believe, is probably one of the most underrated yet overrated in a sense. So let me explain the underrated. People don't realize how important it is. The overrated, we tend to not do the proper things that we need to do in order to relax our bodies. For instance, have you ever gotten to bed and maybe because of the day, right? Which we were kind of discussing there, and you're like, my shoulders are scrunched up and you're just, your muscles are tight. It's like the process of letting go. So breathing and just kind of gently relaxing and letting it go. Think of the position that you're in. Good sleep hygiene goes a long way. And that is so important. People say sleep hygiene, what the heck is that? Our electronic devices. Yes, I have mine by my bedside and I have the volume on very low because that's the only way that people can get a hold of me should they need to. We do, and I do not recommend this because all the sleep experts out there say this is not a good idea. But since I was probably in my 30s, just the thought of having a TV in my bedroom, I just love getting into bed. And usually I read first, and then I love kind of flipping through the channels. There's just something about that for me that's very relaxing. May not obviously be relaxing to other people. And I know a lot of sleep experts do not agree with that. You should not have your TV in your bedroom. Also, the fact that we are on our electronic devices all day long, your eyes also need a reset during the day. So I obviously am on my computer nonstop, but every hour I do get up. So that's part of the sleep hygiene process, because if your eyes, or your body for that matter, are so filled with the light, the glare, that's also a hard way for your mind, because your mind registers what it sees. So I'm very mindful of that now that I'm kind of getting into that very respectable age bracket. So just some tips about that. I do want to share.
Respectable age. What is a respectable age bracket?
Well,
You know what I see, because I've seen it. Like when I say old, I'm talking about like crotchety, like 80s, 90s, and there are very healthy, mindful, and we are working towards those goals of being that blessed at that age. But I love a firecracker old lady giving the finger.
oh my God,
Something about it is just hilarious.
it's hilarious. Like they don't give a flippity
They
flip,
don't.
and
They
they just
don't.
speak what's on their mind.
And how about the face? If you really, I've seen it a couple times, and their facial expressions as they're doing it, it's like they get pure joy, because it's funny when you think about somebody in that age bracket. What do they have to lose? Like they've lived their life, they've lived their experiences. They are just embracing that. They're taking that next breath, whatever it may be. And it's basically, defying, I think in some reasons they almost feel like they're defying the life cycle almost. So they let it all out. They don't care if you've pissed them off, and they put such emphasis on the actual gesture of the finger, but also the facial expression to go along with it. And to me, anytime like I'm like having a bad moment, I never say that I'm having a totally bad day, because I always truly believe even in the roughest of days, there are blessings. You just have to be open to them. But if you're just kind of having that mucky moment or whatever, that's the first thing that I picture too. And I just crack up, because I picture I'm going to be like that.
well, let's face it, you're already like that, right? Well,
No, no. I don't go out in public and flip people the bird. I might at some point when I get to their age, but no, because it's just, I just don't do that.
well, that's a good thing. So I want to share something with everyone. So I was privy to Sandy's cookbook coming out. I was able to go through it. Oh my God, I am just blown away. And I am so excited for Sandy. Her name is Sandy Kern, Desire to Be Well. She has an amazing, and it's not just your average cookbook. Gluten-free, dairy-free, I was blown away. And I'm so excited for her. It's almost like I don't know how to describe it, because me describing it is not giving it justice. But I will tell you, it is flipping amazing. And when her book goes live, obviously we will post the link on our page and up on our website, so that people, like, it's almost hot off the press.
Well, she did actually send me a recipe.
She
And
told me yesterday.
yeah, when I saw it, because and she doesn't realize the value of that to me, because I'm like a squash, especially a butternut squash queen. I love the flavor. To me, it's the epitome of fall, just all the flavors that are in it. And I was blown away by the recipe, but I thought, wow, how nice of her to do that, to give me kind of a sneak preview to that. As she is aware, because she's frequently, she's a guest, but she also takes the time to listen to our podcast. She knows we frequently talk about, lifestyles, and obviously I've chatted quite a bit about being more on a plant-based diet, having, fish here and there. I've only actually and I think it's been 7 weeks now that I've only had beef once. And that was prime rib a week ago. Other than that, I've had no beef, mostly fish if I'm going to have anything. And I have not had any chicken, which I am a chicken, like, would always eat. I could eat chicken every day. So for me not to have any chicken in like 6 weeks is huge. I can't believe how much beans I'm eating. I actually made it was a chickpea pasta. So it wasn't your normal pasta. It was made out of chickpea pasta. And I took artichokes, and some vegan cheese. And I first started off the sauce with strained. You should always strain your beans, by the way, but strained cannellini beans, because kidney beans are yummy, but they're really hard to digest, just even because of their texture. Cannellini beans, I actually also use in my chili because it's just lighter on the belly. So what I did was I took some olive oil, some fresh garlic, and I sauteed the cannellini beans in that just to soften them up even more. Then I took that gadget that we featured, that spoon, and I kind of smashed them all down. Then I added some artichokes, and I added like a couple different spices and ingredients, some plant butter, and I sauteed all that up. And I actually used that with the chickpea pasta, sauteed that up. Then I made all the beautiful colors of all the different peppers that are out, the red, the yellow, the green, and the orange. And I actually use a different green pepper. I got to remember the name of it. It was longer than, it wasn't hot, although you can get them hot. This was almost looks like a bell pepper color wise, but it's a little deeper, almost like not quite an eggplant, but it's just that deeper green. And it's longer, but not small like the real hot ones. It's bigger. And I sliced those all up with vegan sausage. And so I made my sausage peppers and onions with vegan sausage. I made a chicken sausage and regular sausage for friends of ours that were not doing so much of what we're doing. And boy, was it tasty. So it's funny. And I've just been like, almost every meal I eat now includes some sort of bean in it. And it's filling. Great for your intestines, let me say, FYI. But it really gives you that full feeling. So like when I did eat more beef and more chicken, I found within like an hour or two, I was hungry again. And, I would snack. I can't even, like, really in the last 6 weeks, maybe I have a snack once a day, but it's usually in my intermittent fasting break. When I break fast, it's in that time frame. So I'm not snacking at all during the day. And I'm telling you, I feel amazing. So when she ever sent me that beautiful recipe and the picture, it's absolutely stunning. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. And, as I was breezing through it, I'm like, excuse me, thinking of the timing of this cookbook coming out for her, especially with the holidays coming up. And I am so proud of her. And she's already gathering and working on recipes for her second one. And this is something that I've stressed to her, over a year ago when we first started chatting about her book. And I'm just like over the moon for her. I just don't know what else to say, but just proud and very excited for her. And wow. So you have to check it out at some point, and obviously we will let you know. So Fantabulous Friday. Oh my gosh, so many great things going on. Yesterday I was doing all sorts of color palettes for clients, and I was just having a blast. Like, it's not work to me.
I know. I find that so much fun when you get so much joy and passion, and what a blessing it is, especially in this day and age, for entrepreneurs to really, and even if you don't think you're an entrepreneur and you're thinking about it, like, I want to work from home, I'm passionate about this, or knitting, quilting, computer work, coaching, whatever it may be, that really you have the blessing to do it at home or at your own pace, especially if it's something that you're taking on that's new and a new endeavor. We are at such a pivotal moment in our world. And we always talk about, don't leave those goals and dreams. Don't let them go to the graveyard. And I think that's part of what transcend through both of us, through the whole quarantine, through everything that we went through, of the different projects we wanted to take on. Maybe start one project and realize that's not the direction I want to go in, and constantly ever changing, reevaluating, because time is not promised to us. It never is. And how are we leaving our mark? How are we leaving our legacy? And too many times people, when they reach that age of reflection, because I think you really reach that age of reflection when, you kind of get into that retirement mode per se, or about to enter it, you reflect on, what did I accomplish? What did I do Can I do more? Is the epitome of retirement, just to kind of sit around and do nothing. And I can tell you that I am more busy now than I was even 5 years ago. And that is remarkable, because what it does for you is it keeps your mind sharp, which that's a really important piece to growing old gracefully. We're all going to grow old. I mean, we're born to die. That's just, you're not going to change that. So are you going to go through it kicking and screaming and making sure that you're doing everything possible to keep your mind sharp? That starts with a healthy lifestyle. Are you limiting the distractions that are around you that are bad distractions? There's also good distractions, but there's bad distractions out there. And that is why we really set up our podcast the way that we did, so that you take time to understand all your senses, to understand your mind, your overall health and wellness, sharing emotion. How do you pick up those endorphins with doing good deeds and acts of kindness, introducing all the different fitness things, fun stuff, gadgets, like everything's all intertwined. So that's why we have these 5 themes every week, because it leads you to today. Fantabulous Friday, that carries you in through the weekend to have a great weekend. And guess what? Then you start all over again. It's a cycle of life. But this way, we're starting with good cycles every day and good things that really help us stay on point. Then we celebrate ourselves. We always pat up on the back. Like, what did you do to kick off your morning? Well, I do the same thing every day. I do some morning meditation, and I do it before I get out of bed, believe it or not. And I get out of bed, go to the bathroom, and then I go right back in, because I want to set myself up for success by doing one task. And that task is making my bed, or making our bed. So that's just this little thing, right? But when you find that you start changing your habits and you look at things from a different perspective, you just feel better about yourself. But it's not enough to feel better about yourself. You got to congratulate yourself. You got to pat yourself on the back, even if you didn't get to maybe everything on that to-do list. Maybe you didn't get to all those projects. Maybe you started them. But guess what? The cool thing about that is you put them on for next week's goals. So it's an ever-ending cycle of evolving to be the best version of ourselves. And that's what I love about how we have set up our podcast.
I absolutely do. And check out our website, TwoSistas.online, and our new blog, Trends, TRENDZ. We are very excited about that. And we're just going to be sharing what we're passionate about. Sign up for our email list. We're in the process of getting that up and running, but you can go to the website, of course, and sign up for that. And we are not going to spam you. At some point, we will have some type of a newsletter, something of that nature. We haven't actually decided yet, but we are collecting email addresses because we want to reach a broader audience. Perhaps you don't have time to catch up on your episodes and you just want like a quick glance, or whatever it may be. That is.
Plus, it's a great way for us to share the different, like, we have so many guest speakers that either share a product, a service, and so much value. And we really, I can't stress enough how we vet who we have coming on, because we want to make sure that they're going to be relatable, that they're not only relatable, that they're going to add value. We like those that, really their personality shines through. And we do this because we all have this collaboration of helping each other assist, kind of like we're all like assisting each other in as well as our audience on how to be a better version. We all could be improved on, whether it's our attitude, whether it's our perception, whether it's things that we really want to showcase about who we are. And you never stop learning, and you're always a perfection and progress, because we are all we're all perfectly imperfect. So how cool is that we're all flawed and we're embracing it.
Right. And you know what? Flawed is a perception. And if that's what helps me to add more value, then I'm certainly for it. Yeah. And speaking of October, next Wednesday, the 13th, we have the amazing Helen Rose on again, 9 a.m. Oh my gosh, I love Helen. She's
Yes.
hysterical.
And let me tell you, we should also let our audience and viewers and listeners know that we take value in the guest speakers that we have, and we get feedback. And that is why sometimes you'll see a guest do a guest appearance more than once, because they become part of our extended family, our Two Sister family. And it resonates with our audience. So, and again, we are on 16 different channels. We are on YouTube, we are on Twitter now, we are on Instagram, and we're working on TikTok. So, you know, we've got, and then our website, we've got 1,000 things going on, but they're all things that will build a better version of yourself with all different mechanics and pieces. Because what I love about, some people are podcast people, some people more Facebook people, some people like that quick, like Instagram or that quick tweet now. Or it may be that there are a lot of people that are on the computer and they like to browse around different websites. And what I love about our website is it's compacting all of that. And yes, it's a work in progress, but aren't we all?
Absolutely. And the next week on the 21st, which is a Thursday, excuse me, I have Carolyn Warren on, substituting as the Sista, assisting me with podcasting that day. So we're real excited about that. And Wednesday, the 27th, we have the amazing Paul Forcione on, and I think this will be his third or fourth appearance. We just love Paul. Just so many great things happening. So, you know, if you want to be a guest on our podcast, let us know. We're working on November and December, but obviously with the holidays coming up, we will be a little lighter as far as guesting, you know, having guests on, because we know guests are busy. That's just a busy time of year for everyone. But,
and I want to interject with that. We are, you know, how frequently one of us will surprise the other with some news because of what is impacting our world today. And obviously parents, stakeholders, guardians, caregivers have been gaslighted. That's the best way to put it. They've been gaslighted into a situation where they're made out to be the bad people of asking people that they've elected to be accountable. So we are going to interject in such a way that we will have some guest stakeholders, parents, grandparents on to really showcase their perspective of why they decided to take this valued effort into making change for those that have no voice, which is the children. So while we have great topics of authors, Paul is one about rewriting your story. He's a great coach. You know, all these different avenues. Carolyn coming back on with her amazing book, which I'm excited that I received and I'm reading. It's also really important to share, you know, the stories that are also impacting our health and wellness through what is going on in our world and what's going on with our children. And that is a really important piece to what we do. We are children advocates, and that's why we frequently talk about that. So we will have, over the next few weeks, we are working on a piece where we're going to be having some parents, caregivers, stakeholders that are really fighting the good cause for the children.
I love that. And maybe, you know, obviously we're just kind of thinking out loud here, and Carol Sue and I typically go off the cuff, and I think that's kind of what makes us unique. She's the salt. No, I would say I'm the salt, you're the pepper, because you add this more of the spice in it, which I think is great. And that's what she says, we balance one another off. But wouldn't it be cool maybe also to do like a round table discussion type of podcast with these parents? So again, a way for your voice to be heard. So I'm excited about that. So thank you for sharing that. And on this fantabulous Friday, we hope that you have a great weekend. And remember, your voice needs to be heard. If you know of anyone who would like to share their voice, their concerns, let us know. You can always leave us a voice message on the website. My name is Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0, and I am with Two
Sisters, and this is Carol, so AKA Naughty Boss Live, and on this fantabulous Friday, make it a good Friday. You know, share that joy, share that kindness, share that passion. You know what? If you're in your 90s and you feel like doing the old, you know what, with your finger, go for it. You only live once. Why not? Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you Monday for Monday Mindset. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.